Real Talk episode 16. So, Childish Gambino says that he's top 5. He was in Australia performing concert or whatever, but also in there he lashes out at Drake, Kendrick, and Schoolboy. In a freestyle, during his Australian performance, which he went all the way over there to say that. But honestly, in my opinion, he's hinting to that in a lot of interviews. Y'all remember when he dissed Lil Wayne in the interview, in freestyles and shit like that. He also noted it's like, I'm in the top 5. These other niggas don't think so. They fucking out of line. I cut their fucking heads off, and that's everybody. That's Drake, that's Kendrick, that's Schoolboy. I fucking kill them niggas, etc., etc. Now, with the exception of Kendrick Lamar, I think that, in my opinion, Childish definitely raps better than Schoolboy Q. But some would say you can't compare it because it's two different lanes. Fuck out of here. As far as metaphors, bars, quotables, to me, Schoolboy rap cool, he don't have none. So, in my opinion, Childish Gambino watches him out of it. Drake. Now, with with Childish and Drake, he also went on to say that I sing better than Drake, I do it better than Drake, blase blah. And we all know that, yeah, Drake can't sing, you know what I'm saying, he kind of monotone. Childish Gambino can sing his ass off, like straight up. That song, 3005, that shit stays spinning on the radio like this. Not saying that Drake don't, he also stays on the radio, but as far as the singing shit, yeah, he got that. Now as far as rapping, honestly, I'm gonna say that they like even. Because if you take it for what everybody like Drake for, I'm a Drake fan, I'm a Childish fan. But everybody likes how Drake gets introspective and personal when he rhymes. So does Childish Gambino. It's just two different, elements of what they do. Drake's more famous than Childish Gambino, but Childish Gambino is not like some, slush that just wanted to start rapping. He's a celebrity in his own right as well. You know what I mean? But as far as the rapping, I'm going to say that they equal. You know what I mean? Because it's nothing that Drake has said that Childish hasn't said. It just parallels in two different ways. You know what I mean? Like, if you talk about personal from love to life to anything, I think both of them touched on that. But I get an edge to Childish, not being biased. I'm just saying, if you listen to his mixtapes, the albums, independent albums, his new album, the mixtapes, like, you look at that, even when he was just fucking around playing, it was some dope shit there. Compare Drake early work with Childish early work, and you'll see who's better. Motherfuckers didn't take Drake serious until he hit with So Far Gone mixtape. Let's keep it real. And from what I was told, with Childish Gambino, he always had a fan base popping. You know what I mean? He's multitask. He does acting, stand-up, music. You know what I'm saying? Producer, like he does like little movies and mini films and shit like that. Drake, he raps, sings, he has a label, he used to act. It varies though, but I would just say that I'm gonna call them to a tie as far as their bars and their rapping go. Now Kendrick with Childish Gambino. I've heard somebody say, and I should have screenshotted the shit, just watching a lot of old Kendrick shit and new Kendrick videos and shit like that. They call Kendrick the Loaded Lux of fucking rap. Because you know how they say Loaded Lux says to say that's a black, like that flash screen is tight. He has spaced that shit out so complex. People have said that about Kendrick Lamar. Not everybody likes Kendrick Lamar. People have to face it. Yeah, he's nice. Like, I'm not gonna front. Like, I think he's dope as fuck. You know what I mean? But I just feel like he has to come with something new. You know what I mean? Like, he did the Control verse, which, if you break that shit down, really, he didn't really say nothing. People didn't give a fuck until he name dropped. So let's keep it all the way real. I thought it was dope, but the whole song as a whole is dope. Big Sean verse was dope. He goes into the I don't like people that name drop. Kendrick verse coming, he name drops. Jay Electronica verse was tough. It was dope as shit. The whole song was, dope. But at the fact that Kendrick Lamar said something, because it's been a while since he put out an album. He said a couple bars that everybody went crazy for. Tondras and shit was cool too, but it just was the name dropping that people like, ooh, like, you know what I mean? So as far as how he tells a story, it's a great way to do it. He does have concepts. That was a good concept album. I think Childish Gambino definitely like has concepts in a way too. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's better than Kendrick, you know, or it's a tie. It's just that elements he doesn't possess that Kendrick does possess. You know what I mean? But does he have the right to say he's in the top 5? I mean, we hear that from a lot of rappers. Some rappers just said talking out their ass. I even heard a rumor Soulja Boy said that he should be in your top 5. You heard what Mac Miller said on his mixtape. Like, if I'm not in your top 10, then you a racist. You feel me? So it's like people put in work when they stop fucking around and they get serious and they get busy. You have to give that to them. So I definitely feel like he's in my top 10 at least. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say he's in the top 5 because, I mean, I don't look at it as, you know, record sales, popularity, radio spins. I don't look at it as that because it's underground artists that have never been on the radio and we probably don't even see their visuals except on YouTube. But at the end of the fucking day, I fuck with a lot of artists like that. So he's definitely in my top 10. And if he can be consistent with his work, he see what works for radio, what got on the radio from his LP. So he just got to figure out what it is and take it more serious and just saying that, you know, he's busy over here doing this and doing TV shows and shit. Just take it serious. I mean, that was dope that he actually dropped the album in stores. You know what I mean? That wasn't his first one, but I'm just saying, like, it got more critically acclaimed than his prior. Well, some people say Camp was better than this project. You dig? So at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, man, I feel he got the right to say that he's in somebody's top 5. He should be. I mean, he earned that. I mean, it ain't like he no slouch and shit. He does himself. I can appreciate a person like Childish other than somebody else because it's like when Drake came in the game, he's not the same Drake he was when he came in the game till now. I mean, you evolve as far as music, but his persona, his personality. Remember how Drake used to be so shy and so, you know what I mean, tad bit insecure and do interviews and really wouldn't look at the camera, and now he's just full of himself, you know, and I don't really like the arrogant side of the shit because I think that downplays the artistic work. Because it's like, oh, I don't got to try that hard. I'm Drake. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that with artists before. So I think that's the downfall with him where he uses everything as an excuse now. And I think he does where it's like, okay, you put out an album, you know it was subpar at best. You know, he should have instantly came with a mixtape. Remember when he was supposed to drop that R&B mixtape but said, oh, I'm not inspired by anything, so I'm not going to put it out. Okay, but still, you should have dropped the mixtape. You didn't drop nothing. But you put out songs and shit that could have been a mixtape. So I just feel like people get too full of themselves and just feel like they don't got to get back to the people that made them who they are. I mean, same thing with Kendrick. He ain't dropped the mixtape. You know what I mean? But he's came out on record, I think, and said in interviews that he's not going to do another mixtape. You know, he's just going to focus on his albums, which I think is cool, but I don't think it'll help his brand, where it's like, I don't think everybody's going to wait after this album dropped this year, another 2 years for you to drop another project. I think they're eventually going to move on, because he's not the only one with lyrics, bars, that can have a concept album. So I think that would really tarnish his brand if you make fans wait another 2 years. That's being under the tutelage of Dr. Dre, like, oh, you got to wait for, you know what I'm saying, when it's a masterpiece, you got to take your time with it. Man, not really. You know, fans going to rock with you, they going to rock with you. You know, you don't take 2 fucking years to be inspired to put out music. I mean, within the first year you put your album out, you doing shit, you touring, you doing this. So those should be the experiences you jotting down and go in there and just, you know what I'm saying? It's always the downplay where people try to top what they did previously, and that's the downfall. Just go in there and do you. You know what I'm saying? You can't create your first album. That's gonna stag hold you where it's like you're gonna be stuck. But yeah, man, Childish Gambino definitely should be in the top 5. He's in my top 10. He's a great artist. I definitely think he rap better than Schoolboy. Him and Drake are tied, and it's just elements of Kendrick that I feel he don't have. You know, other than that, he's dope. But what do y'all think? Do you think, if you haven't seen it, I'm quite sure you can go on YouTube and type in, you know, Childish Gambino, this is Drake or whoever, whatever rant. And for hold on, right here. This right here, if you go to the video where I talked about yesterday with 2014 albums been slipping, I put in the comments, I left a comment to where y'all can go out and add him, or go to I'll put the website in the description so y'all can go, if he still has it up to where y'all can get a physical copy. But other than that, I just want to bring some kind of footage to y'all so y'all won't be left out on a fresh Monday. Hope y'all had a great day. I'm out. 1.